Hi boys and girls, today we're going to talk about our lab mass, velocity, and kinetic energy. Any object in motion has kinetic energy. The amount of kinetic energy depends on the object's mass and how fast it is moving. In this activity, we'll see how a constant kinetic energy affects the speed when the mass varies. In the first trial, I placed one book on the skateboard. I pushed the skateboard and I observed the velocity at which the skateboard travels. In trial 2, I placed 3 books on the skateboard, pushed the skateboard with the same force that I used in the first trial, and observed the velocity of the skateboard. Let's take a look at those now. Since both skateboards were pushed with the same amount of force, the kinetic energy remains constant in both trials. Velocity is a measure of how quickly an object moves. Which trial had the greater velocity? Which trial had more mass? And how did that mass affect the velocity? Let's take a look at page 2. If we look at kinetic energy when it's held constant, let's take a look at what happens to the mass or the velocity. Take a look at the first example. Kinetic energy equals half the mass, half times mass times velocity squared. So if we hold our kinetic energy at a constant of 40 joules, then half of 20 kilograms times 4 meters per second gives us 40. If our energy is held constant at 40 joules, and now we increase the velocity to 8 meters per second squared, then our mass has to be lower at 10 kilograms. When mass increases, then velocity decreases. When velocity increases, mass is decreased, as long as the kinetic energy remains constant.